Hey guys, welcome back to Mr. Fandom Lore. Today, we're talking about a major turning point in Batman history and how it affected the animated world. How Batman Knightfall changed the DC animated universe. Most casual fans know Knightfall as the famous comic storyline from the 90s, where Bane breaks Batman's back and takes over Gotham. But a lot of people don't realize how much that event actually influenced Batman's animated series in the entire DC animated universe. Let's start from the beginning. Knightfall happened in 1993-1994 in the comics. At that time, Batman the Animated Series was already airing and becoming a huge success. The show originally had a very specific tone: dark, film noir, psychological, and focused on Bruce Wayne as a brilliant detective. But after Knightfall blew up in popularity, the people behind the animated series started to feel the impact. One of the clearest changes was the introduction of Bane himself. Bane made his animated debut in the episode Bane during the new Batman Adventures era. They adapted elements of the Knightfall story, showing Bane as this incredibly intelligent and physically dominant villain who could actually threaten Batman. It wasn't a full adaptation of the comic event, but it proved that the animated team was paying attention to what was happening in the comics. More importantly, Knightfall changed how the animated shows handled Batman's vulnerability. Before Knightfall, Batman was almost untouchable, the ultimate peak human. After Knightfall, the animated series became more willing to show Batman being broken, both physically and mentally. You start seeing episodes where Bruce is exhausted, injured, or pushed to his absolute limit. The idea that Batman can be beaten if someone is smart enough and strong enough became a recurring theme. The tone of the later seasons also shifted slightly. Stories became a bit more epic and high stakes. We got bigger team-ups, more dangerous villains, and Batman facing situations where he genuinely might not win. This evolution helped lead into Justice League and Justice League Unlimited, where Batman is still the strategist, but he's part of a bigger world where even he needs help sometimes. Another big influence was on character development. In the comics, after Knightfall, we got John Paul Valley as the violent replacement Batman. While the animated series never went that dark, you can see echoes of that idea in episodes that explore what would happen if Bruce gave up the cowl or if someone else tried to be Batman. It opened the door for stories about legacy, the cost of being Batman, and what happens when Bruce reaches his breaking point.
Visually, the animated universe also started incorporating more elements inspired by Knightfall. Bane's design in the show was clearly based on the comic version. The more muscular, tactical aesthetic influenced how some action scenes were choreographed. Even the idea of Batman needing to train harder and evolve became part of his character arc across the DCAU. But perhaps the most important change wasn't direct adaptation. Knightfall proved that Batman stories could be bigger, darker, and more dramatic without losing their soul. This gave the creative team behind Batman the Animated Series, Superman the Animated Series, and Justice League more confidence to take risks. They knew the audience could handle serious, long-running consequences and emotional storytelling. Even years later, we still feel the ripple effects. Modern DC animated movies and shows that tackle big events often owe a debt to the era that Knightfall helped create. The era where Batman was allowed to be human, fallible, and still rise up stronger. So, to sum it up, Knightfall didn't get a full animated adaptation like some fans wanted, but it quietly changed the DNA of DC animation. It made the heroes more vulnerable, the stakes higher, and the stories more ambitious. It helped evolve Batman from a lone detective into a legend who could carry an entire universe on his shoulders. That's my full breakdown on how Batman Knightfall changed DC animated. What do you guys think? Do you wish they had done a full Knightfall animated movie or series? Which animated Batman moment do you think was most influenced by the comics? Let me know in the comments.
If you enjoy this kind of deep dive into comic history, animated series lore, and how one storyline can change an entire universe, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. It really helps a lot. Thank you so much for listening, and see you again.